views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or host. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by the channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Come on in, come on in. Let's hit that like and share button on this Wisdom Wednesday. We're just excited about what God is doing in our Faith and Tea family and with you all. I'm just excited about today's program. I'm waiting on the guests to come, but I tell you, we were kind of like talking about it on yesterday, and I said, stop, because I think he's got a good subject this morning. So as always, he's getting prepped. He has to make a special interest. Amen. Amen. Y'all know who we talking about. But good morning to Pastor Fred over there in Kenya. God bless you. Thank you for joining us this morning. To our executive pastor, Rosemary Townsend, God bless you. Thank you for joining us this morning. To the dean herself, none other than Mother Margaret Feaster, God bless you. To Elder Feaster, God bless you. I saw Elder Richard Clark came on. God bless you. Thank you for joining. To Lady Bale, God bless you. Thank you for joining us this morning. To Christy, come on. To Elder Christy Keaton, God bless you. Thank you for joining. I think Wednesday is a special day because everybody know G gonna be on, so they pop in. I think Christy is one of those that told me if I don't make it no other day, I'm gonna make it on Wednesday. But hey, I ain't take it personal, Christy. I didn't take it personal. To Lady Juanita over there on the YouTube channel, God bless you. Thank you for joining us this morning. And as we always say, this is the day that the Lord hath made, and we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. And I tell you, I have been up since 6, where I get on the morning prayer with none other than Bishop Eugene Taylor of the Lord's House. He is faithfully Monday through Friday doing the prayer. And of course, on Saturdays, we have what we call prevailing prayer, because I believe this much, and I've shared it with my family over there in Kenya, that a family that prays together stays together. Listen here, little prayer, little power. Much prayer, much power. So we're just so glad that I'm part of a praying ministry. To the phenomenal women that faithfully upholding and keeping the mantle going. To yes, Executive Pastor Rosemary Townsend, and to Shepherd Mother Polly Brown. They are doing a mighty work with that. I was on their prayer call this morning. God bless you, Bishop McGee. God bless you. Thank you for joining us this morning. But I was on their prayer this morning, and I tell you, Bishop came on. He came on after that prayer. I think my sister in love Donna was there this morning, and he came in right behind, fired up. So we're just constantly excited about what God is doing in this season. And I tell you, I can't say it enough. I mean, I'm constantly watching him do things right in our face, and not a whole list of time. You know, it used to be sometimes, or what we'll say, he's a on time God, but then sometimes we say that and we actually don't even believe what we're saying. But I'm here to tell you this morning that he is a on-time God. And so we're just so excited about what he's doing. And I see that the host has joined us this morning. So I'm getting ready to bring him right on in. And to everybody, this is Javarius. Those that don't know, good morning, Javarius. God bless you, sir. How are you doing this morning?
What's up?
You would think we're not even in the same house, but we are actually in the same house. He's just in a different section. But he basically, this is his platform really on Wednesday. The Lord had dropped in our spirit probably a little over a year ago, to try to bridge the gap. And he has been a tremendous and powerful individual on this platform. So I'm gonna give him pretty much the full screen today and let him run with it. I think
I
he
don't
has
need a
a.
full screen.
Okay, well, you lift your head so they can at least see your face, and we're gonna just jump right into your subject. So go ahead. The floor is yours. At least greet the people. Let them know what's on your mind this morning, and let's go forward.
What's up? So I don't, what were you talking about?
I just was doing the intro, but you gave me a conversation on yesterday that we said that we would definitely want to tap into, and I think it was um, what were we were discussing, uh, being a part of, or being, yeah,
Oh, coexisting,
yeah, coexistence. There you go.
coexisting. Yeah. So coexisting matters to be successful in anything in life. To be successful in anything in life, you have to learn and know how to coexist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know that through everything that we see in life. And I brought it to your attention, and I used the sports as an analogy to express and explain what I was basically meaning. And it's the afterthought of when to be successful. That's what, and we're talking about to be successful,
Yes.
and the one thing, and the one funny thing that if you find in the definition of coexisting that is going to be across any and every platform is it's always going to have the hierarchy of peace, meaning peace, peace in mind. But so when to be successful, we used the LeBron situation of
Uh
how
huh.
LeBron's career trajectory hierarchy through him learning how to coexist with other people that learned how to coexist with people who were successful. Now, LeBron played for Cleveland, and he was arguably the best player in the league for a long time. But for whatever reason, he just wasn't getting the job done, and so he ended up going to Miami to play with D Wade. And the funny thing about it was,
There he go.
so he went to Miami to learn how to coexist with D Wade, who learned how to coexist with Shaq. And the funny thing is, to be successful, everybody needs help, and everybody wants help when they need it, and not when they want it. Nobody ever wants help. They always, want to get help when they need it, and not when it's basically not getting the help when it's me. But yeah, just talking about learning how to coexist with one another to be successful in life.
And I think it's important that we understand that it does not mean that you can't have your own you can't have your own thoughts, or you can't have your own agendas and stuff like that. But it's learning really to blend and make it beneficial for both parties. And I think a lot of times what happens is we get so caught up in our own that the coexisting part creates a problem because it's got to be my way or the highway. And, the reality side of life is that's not how it really works. I mean, really, the thing about life is really learning to adjust in somebody else's situation. That right there, you could run around the house with learning to adjust with when somebody else sits at the table, learning to adjust when somebody else has an idea, and not always making it seem like it's got to be you got to be the one out front. So and I think when we look at even the examples that you use, those individuals, and we'll go back to the LeBron. I think the people that were around him, his friends and everything, they realized early in life that he was going to be the man. I mean, it didn't take a lot to realize that things was falling in place for them, but they didn't ever seem, from what I've read and what I've seen and everything, they never got caught up in themselves. And in doing so, I think they're benefiting greatly. I mean, he's incorporated businesses and allowed them to be a part. And here's the thing, and I'll flip it back over to you. And it's not because he's the smartest one in the room, even though it might seem that way, and maybe sometimes he carries himself in that way. But he allowed them to go to college. We know he didn't go to college. So, even with that, I think it's important that we look at the whole landscape and realize where are we trying to go with this and what is it going to take for me to get there. And so when you say that word coexist, it really reaches throughout your everything that you're doing in church, at home, at work, just with family, with friends. I mean, the whole spectrum of your life. Go ahead, it's on you. Go.
Yeah, no, like you were just saying, and then just folk just feeling like they obligated, or feel thinking that you know their their projection of life, or their projection of what they should, what they going through, what they feel, what they want to feel, this, that, and the third, that should be seen, or emphasized through you. And
Mm-hmm.
if it's not through you or emphasized through you, then either we not on the same page, or we're seeing things in two different aspects.
Right.
And that can't be furthest from the truth either.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. If when I learn to coexist with whomever I'm around, whether it's like I say on the job or at church or even within the home, the benefits that I get is you're bringing something to the table and I'm bringing something to the table. When you're out there on an island by yourself trying to do it all, then it's woe me. It's and you start hearing those type of things in their voice. I got to do this. I. But what I have learned is I don't have to be the one to do it all. I don't have to be the smartest one. And I've always said, if you are the smartest one in your circle, then it's time for you to enlarge your circle. Why? Because the only way that you can truly grow is to hear about or learn about stuff that you've never been exposed to. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning now that the world is so much bigger than the neighborhood that I grew up in. And I've had the opportunity to travel and everything. And sometimes I even mention to you, I'm like, gee, at your age, man, go ahead and enjoy and go visit other parts of the country, other parts of the world. Why? Because that will broaden your mind. That will broaden your vision. That will broaden even the abilities that you have to do some things. Because if, like I say, if you've only been exposed to certain things, that's all you can talk about. But when you have the advantage of learning different cultures and eating, one of the things that I probably regret the most is when I eat, I am such a picky eater. And so I marvel at parents when I see the little kids eating different things. Why? Because even though they might not like it later on in life, they were exposed to it. You know what I'm saying? And so when we talk about that, we're also talking about exposure to stuff. And I think that's very important also. Hello.
Yeah. No, I agree with I agree with you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, so today, like you say, we were basically just trying to bring it in and make us understand that we have to. This is a must. This is something that we have to do. We
Work
have to learn.
together.
Yeah, yeah, we have to learn it, and we find ourselves that when, if we really take that self-evaluation, if we look within the mirror on our own, a lot of times ourselves, we'll find that it really was not the other person, it was not the situation, it was not the job, it was not the church. You know what I'm saying? It was not my friends or my family. A lot of it was me not being willing to adjust, and I think that's one of the key things, learning to adjust in this society,
And,
to adjust. Yeah,
and
go ahead.
and I think the funny thing is, when you learn how to coexist, you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to be able to have the respect and the selflessness to stay in that, because
Mm.
what we have seen throughout history is when you are successful coexisting, for whatever reason, society wants to break it up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Regardless if that's a marriage, regardless if that's a business, or even the sports, like the teams that we see every year. You've seen it with Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
Learn how to coexist, and the media finds a way to make them, pin
Mm-hmm.
against each other.
Mm-hmm.
We could
Mm-hmm.
talk about it in the Bible of, multiple occasions of them coexisting, and the devil finding a way, or even, God making them make a decision of, just learning how to coexist. So it
Mm-hmm.
when you learn how to coexist, and you are in that framework of coexisting, you're gonna have to have, the selflessness and the respect, and not just respect for the others, but respect for yourself, knowing who
Yeah.
you are,
Yeah.
knowing what you
Yeah.
bring to the table. And I feel like, and I think that's why I never really was a jealous person. I never really was, um, and we could kind of spin that off into the WNBA, which is so funny to me. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like they want Angel Reese. They throw these narratives out at Angel Reese, and I they couldn't be more wrong in my eyes than for somebody that used Vogue to announce that they were getting drafted. For somebody that has, the pink, the scams, sponsorships, for somebody who's constantly getting brought up on stages for celebrities and rappers and all of that, to think that she's somewhat jealous
Right.
of
Yeah.
somebody else, like that's that
Yeah.
that society mindset
Yeah.
that we have as people, that you really don't know the words to say around it, but to just say a lot of stuff to walk around it, because it really doesn't, it really doesn't make sense. But yeah, you just, having the self-respect and the respect for the others, but definitely having the self-respect for yourself, knowing what you bring to the table. Like I
Yeah.
was saying, I never really found myself falling under that umbrella, because I always knew that I was bringing something valuable to the table.
Yeah. And it's uh how you just said it, and that's why we got to be so careful. And I had posted, Elder Christie said early exposure is key to keeping children from being overly impressed. And I think when we allow, um, the outside to dictate what's inside of, if you follow what I'm saying. The outside noise that I hear, you know, and we always talk about, you know, the social media platforms and everybody has a podcast now, and then even the medias that's on TV start framing you in the way that they want to control you.
Yeah, the
If you
narrative.
understand what I'm saying, you know, and we have to be careful of that because at the same time, here you go, they frame you and put you in this box that they want you to be in, and at the same time, you have to learn to exist in what they're framing you in unless you take a stand and stay true to yourself. And so, you know, even when we talk about the Angela Reese, and I think one of the things that I spoke to you about, and I said where I had a problem with is she didn't have to take on the villain role. You follow what I'm saying? And I think we have to always be mindful of those that's around us that's trying to frame this a narrative of who you are. In other words, G still has to be G regardless of what is presented to him. He has to be strong enough to stand on the morals and his character and the things that we've poured into him and you've created in your own. Now, what does that still mean? That you still have to learn to exist in society, but you can't allow society now to frame you in a sense or in a way that now they have control of you. So now we've got this individual. We got on one hand we got the angel, and no pun intended. And on the other hand, we got the villain. You follow what I'm saying? And the truth be told, that's far from who this young lady is. You see what I'm saying? But someone in marketing or some said, well, if you go this route, we can do it. And you got to be careful of that because as we look at even in the movies, there's a difference in being an actor and can do multiple roles or being an actor and every movie you play in, you play the same role. Different movie, different title, but we already know you're going to be the gangster. We already know you're going to be the one that ends up in jail. We already know you're going to end up being the one that always never makes it to the end of the movie. Why? Because you've allowed them to frame you. And that's what we really got to be careful of. We got to be careful of allowing people to separate us from what God has put in us. And so even though I want to coexist, even though I want to work with you, I still have to stand on what God has put in me, you
and,
know.
and I think she does a good job of it. I just think she's misled and you know I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely not trying to
Mm-hmm.
speak for her,
Yeah.
speak on her or anything, but
Yeah. Yeah.
and misled in the she does do everything, do all the right things to
Mm-hmm. Yes.
control the protagonist of her own story. So she definitely is her protagonist.
Uh-huh.
But like you said, it's just that the two instances of you definitely saying that I'm cool with being the villain. Yeah, like that is the that's where they get the ammunition and the fire for whatever you do. Now it's the villain, like Andrew Reese, the villain. But she does do she does do a good job of controlling her own. She's very outspoken. She
Yes.
tries to
Yes.
do her best.
Yeah.
And of course, people in the media take her words and run with it.
Right.
But she tries to do the best she can, I
Yeah.
think. And I really don't think people really understand. I really don't recall. I mean, maybe Serena, but I wasn't growing up around this time. I don't really remember a powerful black woman coming into the sports that
Yeah.
really had to deal with
Yeah.
racism the way Angel Reese had from college coming into the
Mm-hmm.
pros, that still has followed her to the pros. I mean, we
Yeah.
talking about a league that's still predominantly black, that she's getting looked at as like the outsider, as like a
Right.
purple person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Eh,
don't like I say, I can't really recall another female, and we talking about a 21-year-old.
yeah.
So I think a lot of it we are I think a lot of us need to really look at it in the macro too, and not in
Mm-hmm.
just the micro of her being able to still do all of this while also leading the WNBA in various categories. So that means she's handling hers on the basketball end. That means,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
obviously she has the right framework, she has the right mindset. But yeah, just definitely I think we should definitely keep looking at it in the macro and not just the micro, because I like I say, I don't recall a female of this leisure that, and like you could speak for Serena, but I was a baby,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what Serena had to deal with. But even the WNBA girls that we were accustomed to, they didn't have to deal with
No.
the actual hate.
Mm-mm.
Like it's some people in the
Well,
media, it's some people in the media that have kind of came out and said that, they have a hate or distaste for
yeah.
Angel Reese,
Yeah.
and to literally be a media person and have that voice, and to think that you can say that. And we talk about a 20-year-old,
Right.
forget that she's a girl or a woman or a black
Yeah.
or a man. The fact that using words hate, envy, jealous, the use those words to attack a young adult is crazy. I couldn't imagine hearing my name on TV, hearing
Well,
my name.
it even goes back to the conversation that we spoke of last yesterday evening, when we was talking about um, life happens and changes come about, and a lot of it is because of financial gains. When they start allowing college kids to start getting paid for their likeness and stuff like that, and get endorsements before they even came out of college, for a lot of the pros that had worked hard to pave the way. I think they're having a hard time. So going back to our word coexist, God bless you, Pastor Line. They're having a hard time realizing that life changes. And so, yes, you might have paved the way, and I appreciate you for that. You can't get mad now at because the way you paid for me now is more of a financial gain for me than it was with you. You follow what I'm
Now
saying?
I'm gonna throw something out, and of course we're not gonna be able to get to it today,
Yeah,
but so, and that's across everything in life though, not just sports. That's everything.
yeah,
That's what everything is going to inflation. Inflation is going to cause everything to go up. So who job is it then? Is it the person that gets to reap the benefits job to outwardly or make it more abundantly to lift up or uplift, or is it their job to give those people that came in front of them their just due on a more and better consistent basis, or is it for the people that came before? Is it just for them to just basically, now I'm not going to use the word hating, because people, at the end of the day, we got to understand, people are human. We are all human.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
to put it like this, I'm gonna put it just like this, and we, you can respond and you can close out though. And this is just me and you, because I don't even know if everybody gonna know who I'm talking about. Everybody knows Shaq, but Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Shaq is arguably, top 10 ever, arguably top
Right.
5 center ever. But Rudy Gobert has already made more money than Shaq has
Right.
in
Right.
his NBA career.
Right.
So it is, I'm not even gonna say he
Yeah.
has an argument, but it is, it's just, it's a half glass, half empty. So as you were talking, I was thinking, what I do think they could do better at, like, doing a
What?
remembrance of.
What?
At the
What?
same time, it's like, I mean, it's not my fault that,
What?
that, like you said, we was talking about in the car. We can't go around hating on all the little league kids we see because they get to play football and basketball all year
Right.
round.
Right. But I think, and I know we got to get ready to close, and before we close, if this I've never actually done this for Javarius. if you look on the screen, I've got his Cash App up there. And I'm going to sow into you today, Javarius, because you have been faithfully on Wisdom Wednesday. Even the days that you couldn't get on, you always gave me some points or whatever to maybe talk about. And so today I want to ask our Faith and Tea family, and it is no amount that you have to give, but I want to sow into him this morning just to show you how much I appreciate you for bridging that gap amongst us seniors, and even bridging that gap with our young people, because I see greatness in you. I see things way beyond this. And here's so to piggyback of what you're saying is it's a twofold thing. It boils down to one. As I push you, never forget the push that you receive.
Yeah, okay,
You
that
follow
was
what I'm
good.
saying?
That was a good
As
way to
as
word it.
as as I
I
do
knew
all.
as soon as you said, as soon as you
Yes.
started, I
So
knew that was a
yeah,
good way to put
yeah,
it.
yeah. So as I push you, and I think a lot of times what happens is we forget, here we go, we forget when we get to the top. You follow what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We might mention it here and there. You know what I'm saying? But when you truly understand that I got to this top because it was constantly somebody behind me pushing
And,
me, as
and,
well as somebody that was pulling me, and so
and not to cut you off so you could finish, but like you saying though, and it might come a time where that you are no longer needed of that particular push because you have
yes.
elevated. But like you
Yes,
saying, you
yes.
still don't need to forget that push that was what got you to the next step though. So
Well,
like you
here you go
can't
to help.
downplay the
Well,
push
here you
that
go.
they gave, you
Here
know.
you go to help you out. So you might not need to push anymore. So guess what? Reach down and pull. You hear what I'm saying? Make it
Yeah,
for the
now
next person.
you can put it back in there.
Yeah, make it for the next person that's pushing. Make that load lighter for them. Why? Because I'm pulling and they're pushing. So the person in the middle is benefiting all the way around. Listen, we got to get ready to go. We can come back. We can come back on this, but I'm challenging all of you all
Coexisting.
to sow something. Hey, Lady Paula Peterson, God bless you. She says it's been a while. God bless you. Thank you for joining.
Coexisting.
Come back and look at the rebroadcast. But I do want I'm challenging you all today to sow something into this young man. Like I say, he ain't asked for it or anything. But I appreciate him sitting and sometimes taking the challenge. And I see greatness in him. And yes, I'm his dad, and I'm going to sow, but I'm also giving you the opportunity to do the same thing. Because what I found out is this: that once a seed leaves your hand, that it has to create a harvest. And so with that being said, listen, this coming Friday, you don't want to miss it. This coming Friday, I have my sister and my brother coming on as the couple. We've been doing couples for like the last 4 weeks. And they will be on none other than Bishop Terrence Reed and Lady Angel Reed, coming in their own way, their own manner of how ministry or whatever. He asked me, he say, well, what's the topic? I say, you create your own topic, because that's how we do here on Faith and Tea. We don't create anything. We let you create your own. So we want to thank you all for taking the time out to joining us this morning, and really think about what we said. Are you able to coexist wherever you are, in your marriage, at church, on your job, with your friends and families? And if you're having problems there, then look at the man in the mirror, as Michael Jackson first said. God bless you. We thank you so much for being a part of our Faith and Tea. We don't take it lightly. We know that you could have did any other thing this morning while you was getting ready for work, or even as you turned over, but you did choose to come this way. So we don't take it lightly. We also, as always, good morning, lady boys. God bless you. She say, I finally caught you guys. Yes. Check out the replay. We're on Facebook and YouTube, so you can always come back and look. And as you always know, that I'm constantly talking about my family over in Kenya. We are working on our way to go there. And so we sow a seed, we sow a good seed to them every month. And with your help, and of course with what I'm doing, God is blessing. So these are also the ways of giving. I'm gonna matter of fact, I'm gonna do that on Friday, because I want to put G back up there, because I want everybody to have an opportunity to be able to sow into him. And like I say, you never know what your seed might do. And so here we go. As we close out, God bless you. We'll see you on this coming Friday. This is how we closing out. God bless you. I'm gonna put something else up there, G. I know you don't want to just stare there. There we go.